How's it going, YouTube? You have a broken mirror and you're looking to replace it, specifically on a Jeep Patriot between the years of '07 to '14. Well, hopefully this simple fix video can help you out. My name is Dozer, and today I'm going to be showing you some simple steps on how to get that fixed. Now, just to make sure that we get started off right, make sure that you do have the correct mirror for your vehicle, and we can go ahead and get this video started. Also, just to make sure that you do have the right mirror for your fix today, you want to go ahead and take a look at your screen right now to see if your replacement part does match the mirror that I have right here in front of me. You want to go ahead and make sure that it does have these 3 brass screws on the right hand side, because those are important later when you're trying to install it. You want to make sure that you have the one right here at the top, and then you're going to have this one down here at the bottom, and then you're going to have one at the back. If they're not, then it's not going to fit. And for the tools that I use for this fix were just a standard socket wrench you can pick up at any local hardware store. Same thing with the reducer. Just goes ahead and fits right on the socket. And a standard 8mm socket wrench. Again, you can pick these up at any local hardware stores like a Home Depot or Ace. And a 3-inch extension bar. This is actually going to come in handy later on. Also, just a little flathead screwdriver. I just had this one lying around. And as far as putting your tools together, you can go ahead and get your socket wrench, get your reducer, and go ahead and slap that on. Get your 8mm socket and go ahead and slap that on as well. And you'll have just your basic setup on your socket wrench. For the extension bar, you just go ahead and pop off the reducer, pop on your extension bar, and then replace your reducer right back on there, and you're ready to get going. So to get started, you just want to have your door propped open. You want to go ahead and find this little plastic cover here right on the edge of your door. It's actually not that hard to take off. You just go ahead and get your thumb, place it right there, and you just want to get a little bit of leverage. Pop it right out. There's actually a little notch right there that you can put your fingers in and just pry it open. And also for this next part, it's just another plastic covering right there at the edge of your door. Go ahead and grab your screwdriver and just place that right there between the rubber sealant and the plastic covering. Go ahead and grab it with your other hand just to make sure that it doesn't pop right off and fall. So once you have that off, it'll expose 2 of the 3 screws that you're going to need to remove in order to replace this mirror. One's kind of tucked away in there, but that's where the extension bar is going to come in handy. And the 3rd screw is actually hidden away, tucked behind this sealant right here, right between the door and the body of the car. It does have these tension caps. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video right now so you can take a better look. And you're going to have another tension cap right underneath that one. These things are actually not that hard to remove. I'm actually going to put it back in place and then just show you kind of like how it looks so you know what to look for and just how simple it is to remove them. Just a little bit of outward pressure and they pop right off. So once that's done, it'll give you access to this last and final screw to go ahead and start replacing this mirror. There's really nothing left outside of just unscrewing everything. So that's where you get your handy socket wrench. Go ahead and remove that first one. Just loose enough where I can just get it off with the rest of the way with my hand. This is where the extension bar came in handy, just to get to this 2nd screw in there. Again, just loose enough to where I can get in there with to loosen it up enough with my hands. And same thing with this last and final one. Just go ahead and grab that flap, press it up against the door, get it up and out of your way, and just go ahead and unscrew that one, all in the same. But one thing that I do want to say is be careful. This is the last screw, so once you actually loosen that up, this mirror can fall. And well, my mirror wasn't broken all the way, it just had a broken plastic piece in there that I couldn't fold it. and I didn't want to pick up any broken pieces of glass. So now once that is done, you can just go ahead and pop that right off. It should just come right out. There's nothing else to it. You shouldn't have to force it out or anything, and you can just go ahead and grab your new mirror and go ahead and start to reinstalling that, which really isn't a whole lot of trouble, just lining up the holes and making sure that it fits snug. You shouldn't have to force it. If you do, then just reorientate, take it out, try to replace it back in there, and don't force it, don't bend any of the screws. And the last thing to do is just to replace all the parts that you took out. I personally only hand tighten the bolts just to make sure that I put everything back exactly how they're supposed to. It's always a good practice. Just keep everything in one spot that you know that you put it in, and just so you don't lose anything, and always put everything back in the reversed fashion that you took it apart. So for example, taking the last screw that I took off, putting it right back on as the first one, along with the little retaining caps, moving on to the inside one to make sure that that was the second one that I took, or the second to last one that I took off on, along with the very last one. The caps aren't that much harder to put on, just a simple little bit of pressure and they snap right back into place. This one, however, was a little bit tricky. You want to go ahead and line the holes up, but once you got them in there, just a simple snap on, and that's all it takes. Once everything's back in place, it's almost like it never happened, and there you have it. Good as new, like I never had a broken mirror, and it's all good and dandy. I also want to take some time to say that you didn't need a screwdriver to get in there. It's just helpful, but you can open this plastic cap on barehanded. And you also don't need a socket wrench, so don't worry if you don't have one. If you can also get a hold of a crescent wrench, that also works in the same. The only part that's going to be a little bit difficult is this second screw. I couldn't really figure out a really helpful way to say, yes, this is the way to do it, because trying to do it from the top, you just don't get the leverage, you don't get the angle right, and obviously with the screws facing to the right, you don't get the right, the plastic gets in your way. The best way that I found was orienting the adjusting screws to the left and just twisting in a counterclockwise motion, you know, the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And for this video, that's all I got. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, let me know if you want to see more of these. I do a lot of my own car repairs. My wife just told me, why don't you make some videos, some helpful videos. I also drive a truck, so if you want to see some things being done on trucks, then go ahead and comment and let me know. Thank you.